Donald Trump is the first president in history to nominate someone to run an agency who violated the scientific integrity policy of that agency. Neil Jacobs is Donald Trump's nominee to run the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Before now, he was probably best known for playing a role in the 2019 Oval Office incident where Donald Trump tried to defend a tweet he made about Hurricane Dorian's impact on Alabama by displaying this Noaa forecast map of the storm's path. The map appeared to be altered with a Trump Sharpie to include Alabama. Hurricane Dorian was never forecast to hit Alabama, and everyone at Noaa knew Hurricane Dorian was never forecast to hit Alabama, and that did not stop Neil Jacobs, who was then Noaa's acting administrator, from issuing a statement that supported Donald Trump's lie rather than the accurate National Weather Service forecast. That statement from Neil Jacobs was later found to have violated NOAA's scientific integrity policy. Today, Neil Jacobs had his confirmation hearing before the Senate Commerce Committee.
Dr. Jacobs, the Trump administration wants to cut NOAA's budget by 27%. No climate, weather, Sea Grant, Ocean Labs, many other programs exempted. Dr. Jacobs, yes or no, do you support these cuts?
Yes, I support the president's budget. The cuts I believe you're referring to, a lot of that work is being transitioned in from the research side to the operations side. So the National Weather Service, the National Ocean Service, their mission essential functions will continue.
I have a disagreement with you. A 27% cut is going to have an impact because there's a definite ripple effect that occurs when that kind of funding is slashed, because of weather readiness without funding is an hallucination. You know?
Our next guest, hurricane expert Michael Lowry, writes this about those cuts. The National Weather Service costs the average American $4 per year in today's inflated dollars, about the same as a gallon of milk, and offers an 8,000% annual return on investment, according to 2024 estimates. It's a farce for the administration to pretend that gutting an agency that protects our coastlines from a rising tide of disasters is in the best interests of our economy or national security. Joining us now is Michael Lowry, the former senior emergency management specialist at FEMA, who is now a hurricane expert at WPLG TV in Miami. Michael, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I want to begin, before we get to the hurricane situation, since we're in the middle of hurricane season, to the situation in Texas and going forward, whether there were mistakes made on this one or not. Going forward, are we going to get better at predicting, forecasting, and warning people about floods like that?
Lawrence, thank you for having me. We will get better if we fund the programs and the tools that we use as forecasters to make those forecasts. I mean, I think the lesson that we can take away from what happened in Texas is that the forecasters in the local office were prepared. And the reason they were prepared is because they had the tools that NOAA makes available to them to see this in advance. I mean, they brought in additional people to staff that office, knowing full well of the severity of the event that was lying ahead. But, you know, with these cuts that are being proposed by NOAA, those tools are going to go away. And if we don't have the tools, then how are we going to make the forecast? How are we going to know the staff those offices in advance? How are we going to be able to see these events? I mean, you see how terrible this tragedy is, and that's on a good forecast.
So we are in the middle of hurricane season. You're in the middle of hurricane territory in Florida. Again, with the budget that has just passed, with this rescission package that's going through, where they want to try to cut more spending from the federal government, what do you forecast in terms of the Weather Service's ability to deal with and warn people about hurricanes?
I mean, we're already facing the issue this hurricane season, Lawrence. We have the hurricane hunters that we rely on for critical data inside the hurricanes. I mean, hurricanes happen over the ocean. There's no people that live in the middle of the ocean. You might get an unlucky mariner that's on a boat out there, but otherwise, it's either the airplanes that are flying in or the tools we have from satellites. And right now, the staffing cuts from NOAA are reducing the flights from the NOAA hurricane hunters by half. this year. So we're already missing half of that data. And then the Department of Defense is threatening to get rid of half of our microwave satellites that we use to forecast rapid intensification to understand the structure of hurricanes. So we're not going to have that data available after the end of July, and we're headed into the peak months of the hurricane season, the worst of it, being August, September, and in the middle part of October.
Have you ever heard a theory that in any way supports these kinds of cuts and getting rid of this kind of information?
No, it's atrocious, it's reckless, it's nonsensical, it defies logic. The amount of money that this country is saving, and forget the lives are more important, but the amount of money that we're saving from the programs that have been developed by eliminating there's a lab here in Miami, one of the world-class climate research laboratories for hurricanes. Noaa is proposing to eliminate that in 2026. That's given us a savings of about $5 to $10 billion a year each hurricane season. That tiny little lab that cost us $20 million is saving us $10 billion. It makes no sense. And I haven't been given a good explanation as to why these cuts are necessary.
Michael, how does that lab save money?
It saves money because the forecasts are a lot better than they used to be. I mean, even just 10 years ago or 15 years ago, our ability to detect these rapidly strengthening hurricanes that are making landfall, and we're seeing more of these, Lawrence. I mean, this is a proven fact, and they're coming ashore stronger than they ever have. So that our ability to forecast that is because of the advances in the hurricane models, in the data that we're gathering in the skies. All of that comes from these research labs that are being threatened. This is very much an existential crisis, and it's not a matter of whether or not the forecasts are going to stagnate. It's whether or not they're going to regress. And I think we're going to potentially lose a generation, 50 years worth of advancements that we've had in hurricane forecasting.
Michael Lowry, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Lawrence. Appreciate the time.